Over the past few years, we've been to hell and back, with relentless attacks on us personally for what is nothing more than some people seeking their own political gain. The result of this was our relationship hit rock bottom.
We've both said and done things that we aren't proud of. But this is not an opportunity to get John Setka. My family should not be used as political bait. We are working very hard together to rebuild our marriage and are confronting the issues that led to the breakdown of our marriage. Together, as a couple, as a family, and with the help of professionals.
About comments made at the National Exec meeting, what was reported in relationship to Rosie Batty is completely false. I have always been a huge supporter of Rosie Batty and admired the tireless work she has done and what she has achieved. Everyone at that meeting knows that what is being reported is not what I said, and the member who leaked these false allegations for nothing more than political gain should be the one who hangs their head in shame. I completely agree with Mr Albanese. Any comments denigrating Rosie Batty are completely unacceptable. I've been a member of the CFMEU for over 35 years and have proudly led the union for the past 6 years. And as long as I am elected a leader, one thing won't change. I'll always put our members first.
I'm simply asking the people who are using our private lives to wage a political war against my husband John to stop. My family has been dragged through the mud, and we're simply asking for privacy to heal our marriage, protect our children, just as any parent would want to do.
Do you intend to stay on as Secretary of the Victorian CFMEU?
Yes, I do. I mean, there's no reason for me to resign. I mean, I represent CFMEU members, right? They're my, they employ me. They're my bosses. I mean, I'm elected to represent them. If people want to expel me out of the Labor Party over false accusations and over things that I've never said, well, then so be it. There appears to be some sort of push. I mean, for what reasons? I mean, I can only assume political. I mean, political gains. I mean, that's what people want. I mean, I've got a view about where the union should be in regards to the ALP, and some people probably don't share that view. So there's a lot of dirty politics at work here. What I said about Rosie Batty, well, I didn't. I just made reference to what legal people had sort of said in regards to laws, and that was it. There was no denigration of Rosie Batty whatsoever. And whoever says that should be ashamed of themselves because they were there and they know I never said that. It was a private executive meeting, and apart from some people leaking, it was nothing denigrating. It was just going into what lawyers had told me in regards to some of the laws, and had nothing to do with Rose Batty changing the laws or anything. It was just, there was nothing denigrating and nothing terrible said about Rosie Batty at all. I mean, and it is disgraceful for people to imply that I in any way denigrated Rosie Batty. I'm actually offended, and it's vile. I mean, I'll be honest, there's some people probably in the trade union movement that we call ALP hacks. That's all they're interested in. And there's some people that are interested in representing union members out there. We're one of them. We're interested in representing our members because they pay our wages. ALP don't pay our wages. And some people don't like that. There's some people that probably love to get control of our union. I mean, I don't know. I mean, my view is I think it's coming from both. People have obviously got an agenda. I mean, there's an agenda, and for whatever political gain, I don't know. I mean, there could be a million. We've sort of narrowed it down a fair bit, but I mean, like I've said, I might have said things in the past about other things, and if I've said something that might have been taken out of context, I'll admit to it, I'll own up to it. But for someone to fabricate something and make something into something that I've never said is absolutely vile and absolutely disgraceful, and the question should be, what is that person's purpose?
So John, can we just be clear on one thing, please? Do you believe that men have got fewer rights these days as before Rosie Batty started her work? Do you personally believe that?
Well, I don't really know. I haven't gone that deep into it. I know some of the laws have changed. To what extent, I'm not 100% sure. I go by what some of my lawyers have told me. I know the laws have changed. There is still some things that are going to change, but I'm not an expert on it. I don't really know, to be quite honest.
Why did you raise that issue?
I was just briefly, and I had to be careful of what I said because my matter's before the courts. And some people told me you shouldn't have even raised it, John. I mean, it's your own personal thing. It's got nothing to do with them. But I just wanted people to know this is where it was at and this is what had happened. I just give them a brief outline and that was it. Gee, don't I regret that now?
Emma, can I ask you, does your husband have a problem with respecting women?
No.
Why do you say
No. He's done nothing but increase the involvement of women in the construction industry, support pathways to improve women's capacity to be involved in the construction industry, has the utmost of respect for women, and categorically no. And I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong that people are taking things in the way they are. It's wrong. Look, we've been to hell and back in the past few years to have the scrutiny, the pain of watching your husband falsely accused of blackmail, to read through transcripts of personal telephone conversations that you've had with your husband and other people in which you're pouring out your heart and soul, in which my husband's described miscarriages that I've had and how we've dealt with those things as a family. To read through them in a police brief and know that they're going to be used against your husband is horrific. We have been in a very dark, dark place. I have been in a very dark, dark place. It is very hard to watch the Get John Setka campaign. I see John Setka get up every morning and go to work at 6:30 to represent his members. I see him come home at 7 o'clock at night, having spent all day representing his members. I can't describe how hard it is to watch, and to live, and to try and protect your children and all of that. I remember 2 days in my life vividly, minute by minute. The day my husband was arrested in front of my 2 young children on Munster Terrace, having been through the market and debating whether we were going to get a Christmas tree or not, and the day my father died.
John, how does your decision to plead guilty to harassing a woman reconcile with the debate you've been having under pressure for over the last 2 weeks? How does that fit?
It's before the court. I'd love to comment on it. I actually can't because it's before the courts, and my legal advice has been I'm not allowed to talk about it.
I think we've been clear. In the past few years, both of us had said and done things that we deeply regret, and we are trying to heal together as a family, you know.
If you plead guilty, though, doesn't that put your position under question?
No, look, I'm elected by CFMEU Construction Division members, right, every 4 years. They're the people that I'm beholden to, and they're the ones that pay my wages, and I answer to them. I don't answer to anyone else but them. So, when an election comes, if they, for whatever reason, seem fit to not have me as their secretary, then they won't vote for me. It's as simple as that.
If you plead guilty to a criminal charge, you won't reconsider your future?
No.
Do you have the support of your rank and file membership right now?
I'd like to think I have. I've got a lot of messages. A lot of members, I think, do support me. And while I've got the support of the members, I'll remain the Secretary of the Union. And I mean, regardless of what any other institution or any other organisation or political party says, I answer to my members and my members only. And not to, for example, the ALP. I mean, I don't answer to the ALP. They don't pay my wages.
At what point would you consider stepping down?
Well, I don't intend to step down at all. I mean, why would I step down? I mean, there's there's comments that people have falsely made, fabricated, false things that I'm supposed to have said, and based on that I should step down. I mean, why should I step down for something that is totally inaccurate and false and just a manufactured lie?
So you're saying that these comments are inaccurate, but can you understand people's scepticism given the case that's currently before the courts? given the issues that you and your wife have been through privately and publicly, do you understand people's scepticism over you saying that these comments are inaccurate, that they're false?
I think, can I answer that? I mean, the Get John Setka campaign has been long running. He has been put out of context. I mean, he's a man that wears his heart on his sleeve. He's worked in the construction industry. They use language which is different to what the rest of us use and probably think is acceptable. And that has enabled people to paint an image of John Setka that is not the everyday John Setka. John Setka is a father, he's a husband, and there should not be any scepticism around this because, this is, as I said, we have been to hell and back, and we've both said and done things that we deeply regret. Our family has been in pain and in suffering, and this has led to, a breakdown, and we hit rock bottom. But I have only heard John Setka speak highly of Rosie Batty and the work that she's done. I mean, I myself am a feminist, and he's married to me, and I'm quite firm with my views. And I clearly say, no one should be sceptical, because the one thing John is also is he bats straight. And if he's said the wrong thing, and he's said it without meaning to, unintentionally, he puts his hand up. He puts his hand up and says, yep, I said the wrong thing. It was in the wrong context. I didn't mean it. I shouldn't have said it. He has always done that. And he's not doing that now because he didn't. He's been categorically clear about that.
I don't think I'm doing damage to the union. I mean, my members have elected me to represent them, and we represent them. We get them good wages and conditions, and our number one job is to make sure they go home to their family safe every night. That's our job. That's what I've been elected to do. And if I save one construction worker's life and he gets to go home to his family, we have done our job. So I don't think I'm damaging. There's a lot of people that are making up a lot of lies and telling a lot of stories that are untrue. And based on them lies, why should I resign? Why should I leave the union based on people's lies and little political agendas? I don't intend to resign over people wanting to fabricate things that I've said that I've never said just to try and push me out of the trade union movement so they can get their hands on the CFMEU and all its assets. Not about to do that.
Thank you, and I have to leave it there. Thanks, folks. Thanks, John.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.